Since 1964, the Sports Car Club of America's National Championship Runoffs has been the single most important amateur auto race in the nation. This weekend, almost 600 competitors will fight for a medal in what has been called the Olympics of auto racing. This is where professional racing careers are launched. This is where legacies are born. This is the SCCA National Championship Runoffs, presented by Garmin-Verb. Day 2 of the race to the SCCA National Championships continues here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course as the event has returned to the venue that was home for so many years. It is the 53rd annual SCCA Runoffs presented by Garmin-Verb. I'm Greg Creamer, Dorsey Schrader alongside. Down in the pits is Jeff Lepper. And have a look at this around the track here. We're going to go right away on board with our Garmin-Verb lap for Spec Racer Ford, coming courtesy of a 3-time champion, Cliff White.
And Cliff will be very smooth as he comes on the front straightaway here. That's start-finish line. Actually, it's finish line here as the start takes place on the back course. Into turn 1, extremely high speed, left-hand corner. Exit speed is very essential because you're on the second longest straightaway that Mid-Ohio has as you accelerate up and get ready for the brake zone in the keyhole. One of the trickiest corners there are, and it's a fun corner. It's a 180-degree right-hand corner down the side of a hill. Falls off camber at the exit, which makes the car not want to do well. you have to control it, and it leads onto the longest straightaway in the Mid-Ohio racetrack. And this is where you get the start. The start-finish is right there. The start is right there in the Honda building. Down into turn 4, the best overtaking place under braking on the whole track. And it is also a downhill run. And it begins into what we call madness. Up over the crest of the hill, the car gets very, very light here. You drive down into the bottom. This corner, the right-hander, is a very off-camber corner at the exit. The car wants to push out in the grass there. Then it's a flick underneath the bridge. You get real light on the heels there as you come around this brake point for the next corner. In this corner, you see as the car in front of us gets loose. That you lose a little grip right there. This is a high-speed run up through a left-hand bend, and it's totally blind, and it leads to the carousel, a 180 right with a lot of pavement changes and grip level changes, as you'll see the cars all squirming around here, searching for some grip, and then back to the left and back to start-finish line.
Great ride around here in one of these cars, Spec Racer Ford. It has been a hugely popular class since its inception in 1993, Jeff, and it continues to show some tremendous numbers.
Well, that's right. This is the first ever of the SCCA Enterprises built cars, and a whole bunch of these cars nationwide. I got to think for the race today, though, you got to watch for Scott Redditch and Mike Misrandino. The guy that I'll be watching, those 3-time champ, Cliff White, don't count him out. Richard Baldwin had problems with his car all weekend long. He's starting back there in 12th. Watch him come through the field as well.
Yeah, and it's a deep field, isn't it? Qualified second. On the side of the car, it says Hot Rod Todd, and Todd Harris, he's always a front runner as well there. Dorsey, this is a class that is very, very special to you, isn't it?
It is indeed, because way back in 1984, a young, skinny, long-haired kid second mortgaged his house to buy one of these cars with the hope of becoming a pro driver, and that bet was well paid off. It launched a career for me that went for many decades. And that car, Greg, chassis number 35 is racing in this race today.
Is it? In whose hands?
I don't know.
But it's out there, you said.
Yeah, the car's here, and I owe them to go find them and have a look at my old car.
Yeah, what a great story that is, though, to have it out there and running. And I mentioned that back to 1993, that's when they converted to the Ford engine. Prior to that, it was just Spec Racer back in the day, and it's been around certainly longer than 1993, as you pointed out.
Sports Renault was a 1200cc engine originally, smaller tires than the Ford. But this class has evolved into what it is, and there, like Jeff was saying, there is just hundreds of these cars.
And you learn to drive. This is a momentum car, and what you learn here, you could take, like you did, up to Trans Am and
it's a
GT,
spec class.
Yeah.
Every one of these cars has the same engine, same tires, same brakes, same suspension. Very minimal adjustments on any of that.
Yep.
Essentially, you can you've got shock absorber adjustments and sway bar adjustments, but they don't do a great deal.
And the guy that is right behind your pole sitter, Mike Miserandino, that's, by the way, his 4th tire rack pole. Here is Scott Redditch, who in Formula Enterprises earlier in that class set and broke Jerry Hansen's 35-year-old record for consecutive poles in the class. If you beat a Jerry Hansen record, you're doing something. That's pretty remarkable. And Redditch is certainly one of the favorites here, 5-time champ in FE.
Very much a drafting class.
Yeah.
They need to work with one another to get their lap times up.
All right, pace car's made its move in. And we are green. Miserandino has Harris right alongside and going way down to the grass. I think that might be Dan McBreen trying to find his way through. And again, anything you could do on the start, but a great launch by Scott Redditch, who went from 3rd, snuck up and then around and settles into 2nd as we get down into turn 4. First corner at serious speed. Miserandino and Redditch pull through.
These cars are very solid on their side. You can hit side to side really hard with these cars and do no damage to them.
Well, I'll tell you, this is in a way sort of a bad omen because Miserandino's kind of got an MO that if he's out front, he's one of the guys that can just drive away. And right now, Redditch is going to be doing everything he possibly can to keep him in check.
You want to get sorted out and then the single file as quickly as you can and start working a draft strategy with someone. You got to partner up for sure. You can't do this by yourself. You can't just run away from this field. Drafting is so important in these cars because they're all equal.
Boy, and Byron Mead in the 0-1 has just leapt on that start from 6th up into the 3rd spot. And I think when McBreen went down to the inside, it just kind of opened the door up a little bit, and a couple of guys were able to jump on that, and it wasn't McBreen, actually. I think that may have been in the 70 of Max Koff.
Ooh, car off track a little bit. You got to watch running through the grass with these cars. As you see, the radiator inlet's very low down there, and it packs up real easily with grass. It doesn't take much to overheat one of these engines.
Well, the 77 is Matt Harper, and he took a look trying to get around Byron Mead, couldn't quite get it done. And behind him is the number 70 of Max Koff.
Right now you'd be trying to plan strategy with someone and try to figure out who's going to help you and not. Look at the drivers' attitudes with their eyes and their heads as they look to the mirror and they look back and forth. They'll start hand signaling one another. You know, you're going to work with me, tie in with me. You know,
yeah,
that's what you have to do in this class.
Well, that's what Reddick wants with the 0-1 of Mead and the 77 here of Harper. He really would like to work together because, as you can see, a little bit of a gap opening up here for Miserandino, who, just to confound us, I guess, decided to, he has always run a primarily white with red highlight car and decides to throw some black.
Oh, trouble. This one's been into something. You can see that the nose is pushed back up onto the tire.
Yeah, Tom Kirchman out of Framingham, Massachusetts.
You can actually bump draft with these cars a little bit, but not very much because that front end around the radiator inlet is pretty weak.
And the 77 of Harper has gone around McBreen. We saw him working on Byron Mead here, and that is going to officially show up on scoring now.
Three cars working together is really, really fast. It's better than two, but you've got three cars and they're all working with one another and not cutting each other up. That's a very fast combination to try to beat.
Boy, and that white car with the green highlights, as we watch the 42, that's Todd Harris, who started second spot and was shuffled back to seventh as they came by this time. And I was about to say the 27 of Quentin Nelson was looking like he was going to try and make the move, and then Harris went down to the inside trying to get around McBreen. But Quentin Nelson, he's looking very racy in the early going. He won the June Sprints this year, which is probably the second most important club race on the calendar in June at Road America. And a lot of people said he could be the sleeper here.
Well, he's trying to work himself back to where he belongs, toward the front. He was outside pole. So the car has speed for sure.
Yeah, I think when we saw the number 70 of Max Koff get down into the grass at the start and got a nose up on alongside Todd Harris, it just backed him up. Yeah.
And like I say, running through the grass is a risky maneuver with one of these cars because it does load the radiator pretty quickly.
And that's the other thing. I mean, these are sturdy cars, and side-to-side contact, you don't even notice it.
No.
But a nose-to-tail, if it closes that radiator up, and that happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So that's a weak area on the car right in the front. And you can bend that aluminum under tray up. It makes a little triangle out of it, and it shuts off the radiator inlet, and then you're a sitting duck. You have to get it fixed.
Well, Redditch wasn't getting much help from the 0-1 there, Byron Mead, because he's dealing with the 77 of Harper. So Redditch looked for a minute there. Maybe he decided, I got to do this on my own.
Side to side, they're a tank. I mean, they're not going to hurt it. The understructure of these is square steel, and it's very, very solid. 77 up the inside, so good position.
Nice. That's for third.
That was a good one. Matthew Harper set that up perfectly. He made that pass before the turning point. Got tucked back in, didn't cost him, but now he's being drafted upon.
And again, a little bit of side-by-side here. As Byron Mead trying to get back around. Looks like he may have done it.
You got to force your way to the inside all the time. You can't leave the outside, get trapped out there. You get trapped out to the outside, and all your friends become not so friendly.
Oh, close there. That was the 42 of Harrison, the 104 McBreen. That, if there wasn't contact, I'm impressed. And then he pushed the 27 right off the outside.
Yeah, I saw that all happen. They were running on the racetrack to the outside pretty quickly.
And this is a different incident. It's the 35.
That's on the corner entry, and the other one's on the corner exit.
So we got cars off everywhere here. Looks like everybody was able to continue.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Well, you know, you can almost drive away from anything with one of these cars. They are really sturdy. I know. I was a crash test dummy for a while.
Completing lap number 4.
Ooh, good save right there.
Boy, and again, 77. Matt Harper gets a pretty good run, but he had to check up a little bit, and that's Harris. As you said, Darcy, that car's got speed, clearly.
And he's lost that position. I mean, he tried to make a move to make a pass, and when that didn't happen, he got pounced on. Harris goes right around him, and that car does have speed. I expect it back toward the front. It's not that easy. You've got to set up a pass, and you have to have a place to go once you get there. And it's hard to do when everybody's nose to tail.
Boy, what a train. This is what SCCA Spec Racer Ford Racing is all about. You just get these long, long draft trains, and you can barely see them back there, but behind the 27, who slipped back a couple of spots, or June Sprinter, and right there is the 28. That's a great story. Jacob Peepal, young guy, very, very talented, 18 years of age, and last year at the Runoffs, qualified 21st, had a problem, drafted and worked his way up to third, and then on the last lap got a double draft freight train by him and pushed him back into 6th. And he's made a deal that, I mean, they're working on it to try and get him into the Probably World Challenge next year, running in the Pro Series and touring car.
Well, I'll be seeing him over there if he makes that transition, that's for sure.
Yeah, impressive young driver. Everybody I've talked to about him says, yeah, you want to watch for him, no question. I mean, he's 18. This is his 3rd Runoffs.
These cars want to be driven very, very smoothly. You don't want to scrub any excess speed. They don't have the power. They have more than what we used to. Somebody's in the gravel trap and getting out.
Looks to be the 7 of Scott Seifert.
Turn 4 down there at the end of the straightaway. He continues on.
Boy, Reddick has caught right up now to the back of Miserandino. And we're getting reports from around the track that there's still little bits where it's spitting down there. But Todd Harris, the man on the mission, has got the inside line now on Byron Mead down into turn number 2. Looks like he's through, and he opened the door, and Harper's going to try and slide through as well.
Good move by both cars right there, and that's how you work these. You know, you always have a partner. You always go with your partner, and you try to stay as humanly close as possible to that car so nobody can slip in. You don't want to get trapped to the outside because, like I say, everybody will just trap you there, and it's very hard to do business that way.
Boy, and Byron Mead trying to swing back around the outside of Harper. McBreen chose to go with him, but Harper just out-deeps him. It's just like watching a snake around here.
Right now, I think everybody will have assessed where they stand in the pecking order of things. And if I was in that group, I would be hooking up with Todd Harris. You know, I think he's got the ability to move forward. He's showing us that right now. He went from 6th all the way up to 3rd. And he's moving forward, so I want to stick with him. I'm going to help him any way I can. And nose gone now off this car. It'll run fine like that.
Hey, the first time I ever worked a corner at the Runoffs back at Road Atlanta, I was working up at turn 4, and the Spec Racer field came up into turn 3. First 2 cars made it through, and then every big incident, and all you saw was red Georgia dust in the air, and then you'd see cars with various pieces of bodywork missing regain the track, and at the end, nobody was out of the race, but the outside of 3 looked like a junkyard with body parts, and they outraced.
Yeah, here's that.
It's a sturdy car,
over.
yeah.
Good.
Nice job.
Giving way to the lead guys.
Oh, look at Harris. He is all over the back of Reddick, and he's got Harper right with him here.
That's a good combination right there. That's exactly where I'd put myself, too. But now you have to be tidy. And by tidy, it's not just how close you can run to the guy in front of you, but you have to be not only up underneath the back of him, but you don't want your front end sticking out from his front end.
Right.
You want to be totally symmetrical. Problem is you can't stay there very long because it overheats the engine.
Well, and Jacob Peepal, who we were talking about there, is making a move for 8th. I mean, this is just great stuff no matter where you look in this pack. And Harris is through on Reddick.
Yep, Harris got by Reddick for 2nd.
Yep.
That's a strong combination right there. Those 3 cars, those are the ones that are going to win. One of those. That's a good combination. 3 cars, and they're all good drivers. Reddick we know about. He's won several championships. Harris has shown that that car's really good here.
Yeah,
qualified 2nd.
He's got a silver and 2 bronzes, but his last medal was in 2012 at Heartland Park, Topeka.
There's a knack to driving these cars. There's no doubt about it. You have to be really, really smooth. You have to carry a lot of rolling speed to the center of the corners. And you have to get to the throttle as early as humanly possible. They don't have much horsepower, so they don't recover their speed once it's lost.
I was going to say, you want to get to the throttle as soon as you can, but if it's too soon and you get sideways, I mean, it takes forever to get that momentum back.
Anytime after you go to the throttle that you have to lift off the throttle because you're either going to spin or because you're going to run off the racetrack, you've done it wrong. You've gotten to the throttle too early or you've turned too early.
And when you got the nod to run Trans Am and won the championship in your rookie year, I've got to believe that preservation of momentum, even in a 900 horsepower car, when everybody else is 900 horsepower, that had to be something that really helped.
It teaches finesse. There's no doubt about that. It teaches you to feel the car underneath you. These cars are a great learning tool. There's no doubt about that. To win in this class, the same fundamentals that make this car win is the same fundamentals that make any car win.
This is something you don't see very often, is Mike Miserandino, who's generally pretty awesome, getting past for the lead. But Todd Harris is just hooked up right now.
Yeah, that's a good car. I spotted that one too right away. One of these 3 up there, 4, I would say 4 cars. It depends on what they do to each other. If they run nice and clean, but what you'll see is 2 of those cars will pair up at some point.
Well, you'd almost think right now the smart thing for Miserandino is to do what he's done, and he's obviously a multiple champion here, is just to work with Harris. He knows he's fast, so let's try and make a break.
Absolutely. Yep. If he can work with Harris and get away, just even if he can get 4 car lengths, that's all it takes to get the heat off your back.
And what Reddick and Harper need to do is the same thing. Don't get too aggressive early here.
Reddick would like to make it a 3-car breakaway
if he
could, which is effective.
Look how much ground Harris gained exiting the final turn.
Yeah, you won't see these cars sliding or doing anything. They keep them under them pretty good, and they'll use all the track that they can.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Exactly.
You can run a plumber's bob down the length of those cars, and they're all perfectly in line.
But boy, once they get to the corner, Harris's car just really seems to be hooked up.
It gets off the corner very well.
Yeah. Now, what can you do to these cars in terms of setup change? I mean, it's very spec, but there must be little things, and maybe Harris has found something.
There's not a lot. I mean, there's sway bar adjustments front and rear. There's shock adjustments. Oh, 77 gets a little wiggle there. One thing that I worked on a lot was body fit, because nobody ever pays attention to that. But body fit is a very, very important factor when you talk about drag on the long straightaway.
All the seams in the bodywork?
All the seams to get them close together. And you can even put rake in the bodywork. You can raise the rear higher than the front and develop some downforce rake that way. Most people just ignore the body and just throw it on there and paint it, But
right.
There's more to it than that. Particularly high-speed tracks. If they're running Daytona, I mean, that would be something that was
huge, I would think. And you don't want any rake there.
No, you want to get the car. And those are all adjustable. Those bodies, all three pieces of it, are adjustable on height and the way the seams fit.
Well, our top five have now made the break, haven't they? There's the sixth place car sitting back there, Max Koff, and the defending champion behind him. That's something you don't hear of very often either. It's Cliff White outside of that top five.
Yeah, and he's not going to catch it without help from somebody.
Yeah.
You can run these guys down if you have help from two other guys, but on your own merit, you cannot do it.
It's your fifth place car, Byron Mead.
And Byron now is just at the tail end of about to lose the draft. He's got to work his way back up behind these guys, otherwise he's going to start falling back of no doing of his own. He'll just be a mile per hour or 2 miles per hour slower than they are in the straightaway each time, and ultimately they'll shake him out of that pack.
There's your battle for 6th and 7th.
And that's a go now.
Misrandino going for the lead, and Harper down underneath Reddick.
So that, with 14 to go, that's a little early to be making that move, because the guys behind you will catch you up pretty quickly if we keep doing that. And I see our 6th place battle is working together, so they could be coming forward.
Well, it's true. The more often we see these cars at the front side by side, that is what that 6th, 7th place pairing needs to have happen.
Nice cool day, so you can stay tucked up under someone without overheating. On hot days, you got to really watch the temperatures when you're drafting.
Well, I'll tell you, we had that 6th and 7th were pretty much on their own, but now we've got joining them now is the McBreen, Nilsson, and Peepal group as well. Let's get on the pit lane and check in with Jeff.
Well, here with Andy from Todd. Andy, is Todd comfortable out front? Would he rather be second or third? Who knows in this race, right?
He's real comfortable out front. We've run around with Mike all year, and being second going into that last lap is not a bad place for him to be either. So, he's got the car, he's got the pace, and I think we can do this.
We'll drop back to second now, see if Todd Harris wants to be in front, if he can get back around for the lead.
That's worth trying during the race, too.
Yep.
Take yourself out of the lead and go back to second and see what that's like for a while. Can I make the pass, or where can I get, you're gaining knowledge as you're going forward.
You just don't want to do it in spots where it slows you both up enough that it gives the group behind you opportunity. You'd rather build the gap just to have it mano-a-mano at the end. Reddick now wants to get back around Harper. Realized if he forced the issue, they'd be real slow coming out of 4 and duck back out of it.
Reddick has just not quite got the speed that we normally see him have. I mean, Misrandino and Harris, really, I think those are the two strong cars right now.
Yeah, it certainly looks it.
And certainly Matthew Harper in the 77 he's consistently right there, so I suspect he's got a good car too. Right now it's posturing. You're just feeling each other out, looking at weaknesses.
Yeah, Harper doing a nice job. His first ever runoffs was in Daytona, and it wasn't a great day for him. He had some issues and ended up 35th, so clearly he was ready for this one, wanted to make amends, and is doing a tremendous job.
The cars are pretty good on ovals, believe it or not. I mean, we ran at Charlotte, we ran at Daytona. They were fun races with these cars. But like I said, they're draft dependent, and that you're so much of your outcome is due to who you're running with and around.
And this is your battle right now for 6th on back. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there by Koff. I thought White might be able to jump on it. He's in the number 92, running in the 7th spot. And again, a 3-time champion in Cliff White. And behind them, the 104 of Dan McBreen. And then the 27 of Quentin Nelson. And then in 10th, the 28 of Jacob Peepal. There they come through. And Harris back to the lead.
Well, that's going to give those guys in 6th place what they need to get back caught up, if they keep that up. And right now that you have to do that, because you got to see, where can I make that pass, or am I able to make that pass? Sometimes you find out that you're much better running in 3rd or 2nd place, and you get out to the 1st, and all of a sudden you get shuffled to 5th. Well, that didn't work.
Boy, Misrandino coming through turn 8 got a little wide. And he lost just a little bit of touch with Harris and allowed Harper to get that blue nose right up underneath. But Miserandino in 3 corners has evaporated that margin Harris had.
Of course, these cars now have evolved into a 3rd generation, which will run later on in the weekend. And with the bigger engine, these are really fast cars when you put that Gen 3 kit on it.
Yeah, that
it's no longer underpowered.
SRF3 is a lively car.
Yeah.
No, it really is.
Yeah, it changes the complexity of the game quite a bit. These cars, like I say, they're still smoothness is key and drafting is key.
Well, this class to me is just a tremendous study in strategy.
It is. You got to be thinking all the time, how am I going to get done when I got to get done?
Yep.
And you're feeling your car out, and you're feeling these cars out around you to see, where can I get the pass done? Where am I vulnerable for being passed? So I got to block that.
By the way, you'll note if that next group appears, Cliff White has snuck around Max Koff and has picked up the 6th spot.
That's the other thing. Sometimes you're faster with one car in front than another, and you have to make that transition too. You have to try that. Your lap times come down with a different car in front. Stay that way.
Boy, Quentin Nelson trying to get down underneath Dan McBreen, and McBreen having none of that.
Ooh, up over the top on the outside.
Jacob Peepal trying to make it work, the young 18-year-old.
It was worth a look.
Yeah, McBreen for a number of years was the U.S. distributor for the Radical sports car and worked in the creation of the North American Radical Cup and the like, but still loves to actually do his own driving and has, for this year at least, chosen Spec Racer Ford.
It's a very cost-effective class. Spec Racer Ford is, and the concept when they came out with it in the early 80s was to have a car that was low in cost, that the driver would be the difference. That the cars would be so equal that the driver would always go to the front. I mean, that was the appealing lure that brought me in, and brought a lot of other guys in. The cars back then were $10,000, which wasn't a lot of money. And in the professional series, if you won a race, they paid $10,000 for a win, so you'd get the money back. So,
yeah,
I mean, it vaulted many careers, not just my own.
And the 70 of Koff dives down to the inside, and that was Cliff White. That just shows you his experience. He didn't fight that at all. Let him through, tucked right in behind.
Yeah, he moved over actually. He said, "Go down there. I'll tuck in behind you, and not lose our momentum or our speed." And maybe right now they're feeling out which one is better in front, which one is better behind. It's okay if you're better behind. Yeah. Pops back out, and tries his own fast version. But that's not helping their cause.
Yeah.
They're going to catch the
Ooh,
front.
people dancing on the edge of the exit of 4 there. Ooh, big wiggle. Is that a touch?
As an inexperienced guy in a long line of cars, you can get mesmerized by the cars in front of you.
Yeah.
And think of it as a whip, like a whip.
Yeah.
And you're at the back of the whip. So your radius is one car width more than everybody in front of you. So ultimately, you're turning too early, and you're running out of road too early. And you see that all the time. The last guy, if he's inexperienced, will get caught out in that chain and that whip. And I think that's what's going on. You learn that pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, I would think. Because there's no way you're not going to be running in a pack eventually in these cars.
And if you all turn at the same time, and you're 6 car lengths back, you turn 6 car lengths earlier than the first guy did.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it looks as though Cliff White now has been able to just open up a little bit of a margin up front. It's still the blanket covering them all. Yeah.
Miserandino. Those cars are the strong ones. Matthew Harper. He could be a spoiler to those 2 up front.
Absolutely. Had a good season in the on the majors level. 4 poles, 3 wins. Harper had. Oh, what a early pop there by Miserandino.
I'm surprised that I'm really surprised that Harper didn't go with him.
Yep.
When he popped to the inside, I would have instinctively gone there myself just to see if I could get a gain. And you could have shuffled possibly.
Yeah. Now why there when he popped like that and he did it so quickly and was so quickly by Harris? Didn't Harris just move right behind him?
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
Just look what happened.
That gap was open, and I don't know why Harper chose not to go in there. I would have gone in there.
Yeah, I just figured Harris should have tucked right in behind him.
I think it surprised everybody.
I think it did.
Look at gap that he's got. Miserandino's got 4 car lengths.
I wonder if that's been Miserandino. Mike has been looking at it, studying, and going, if I get the run I want, I can break them going through 4.
Yeah, well, these guys will catch him because the 4 of them are all pretty tidied up right there. And now the problem is, now that they've fallen back that far, if these 4 tighten up and they run up to Miserandino, they're going to have enough speed to just put him all the way back to 5th. Because it won't be just one of them that's going faster. It'll be that whole train coming at you. And see, it's happening right now. All 4 of those cars are reeling him in.
I think somebody just had an off over here.
Too. There he is.
Yep.
The squealing, tapping tires are happening there.
You hear the squeal, and then you hear that unmistakable sound of a car bounding through gravel. That was Scott Seifer driving the Star Gas SRF. Back to our lead. Yeah, just that quick. Harris able to run him down.
And if those guys had tucked up behind him, when he popped out right there, they should all go. Everybody go to the inside. That'll put the 11 all the way back to 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere back there.
Problem for the 77. He couldn't because Byron Meade ducked down to the inside trying to make his own move. But Reddick now has slipped back to 5th.
You got to be ready every time you come onto the straightaway for the lead cars in front of you to do something. And then you have to make the move as they do. You got to flow with them. As soon as they move, go with them. That way you maximize the run.
And as we continue to watch this great scrap for the top 5, let's check in with Jeff.
Well, Thomas Kirchman was missing the nose on his Spec Racer 4. The team came down. A lot of debris on that front grill grass, and there, so they see that Alliance Autosport team cleaning that up. They put a brand new front nose on his car and got him back underway.
Well, you got to get to the end, even if it takes you. And he wasn't really in medal contention anyway. But you work hard to get to the runoffs. You want to see that checkered flag no matter what. Oop! Traffic here now.
Staying out of wake, nice and clean. It was a 92, I think. That gave way to the lead cars.
Did a nice job, Jim
91.
Tibor. Jim Tibor Jr.
Oh, this is that was, I think, a defensive move by Harris. I think he thought Miserandino was going to go up the inside.
And this is where Mike got that tremendous run and just popped big time. And we'll see if Harris is not quite, well, it looks like he's close enough. He may think about it. Here he goes.
Yep.
Not as soon as he did the last time.
Matthew Harper back there in the 77 has got to stay in tighter contact with these front 2. He's let himself open up 2 or 3 car lengths, and he's not close enough for one of those guys to make a move to go with him. He's not there, and you have to be there for the opportunity.
When right as you look at somebody and say, well, they may be losing touch here. I was thinking about Reddick. He gets right back to the back deck of the 01 of Byron Meade.
I don't think, that's not the car we see Reddick have all the time. I don't know if he's messed up on the setup a little bit or maybe tried something different, but he doesn't have the speed. He's hanging in there with the skill level that he has and the fact that he can draft these guys, but he doesn't have the speed to do anything but just tag along. He would have already moved his way toward the front if he could. But
yeah, absolutely.
Right now he's at the mercy of just staying with these guys in the draft. And I've had that car before too, where you just, all you can do is hope that something happens in front of you because you can't pass them. But at all costs, you have to stay with them. Otherwise, you're going to fall backwards and everybody will catch you up.
Boy, Miserandino, Harris, and Harper right now trying to make a break.
They're going to catch some traffic up here too. That should be interesting to see how they work that through. Now the 77's in there. That's as close as you want to be, just like that. You cannot let those guys get 2 car lengths between you and them. Otherwise, when one car moves, you can't go with it. There's no purpose.
That makes sense, And they're coming up on the 88 of William Mercurio out of Kensington, Maryland, the Frederick News Post machine.
Reddick is just hoping something happens.
Boy, I thought Harris might pop, but they got past the point where it was doable here. But right now, Byron Meade is fighting for his life right now to not lose touch with that blue 77.
Yeah, he's got to stay up underneath the back of Harris at all costs, and then he's going to have to respond to whatever Harris does. He has to do it too. The lines for that corner, actually 77 had a better line than those guys. Harper actually gained ground there.
Yeah, I think Harris maybe just floated a little wide.
Well, you're going to go down to 5 to go, and we get to the line here, and that's when the magic happens. you need to start making moves in the last 5 laps, because the first move you make for the lead probably won't be the last unless you hold off to the very last lap to do it. And with 5 cars in the mix, that would be leaving it a little bit too long, I'd say.
Great job by the car they were coming up on, the lap car. Well, he tried to get out of the way.
Well, he will too, because he's already made his intentions to him known.
Exactly.
He just needs to get through this corner to get out of the way. He'll do it right here. But they're going to draft out him till the last minute. That's what I do too.
Absolutely.
Get what help.
And then if you can time it so that you get him parked between the other cars coming. Oh, and they were having none of it. Byron Mead and Reddick were coming around the 88 of Mercurio regardless, and he knew it, didn't he? Nice
Mercurio
job.
did a great job
He sure
right there.
did.
He telegraphed to him that I'm going to get out of your way, but I got to get through turn 1 to do it.
Yep.
And he did get out of all their way, and he didn't hinder any of them any more than the other.
Yeah, it was a great piece of driving. Kudos to him. Here's that battle now between Koff White and Quentin Nelson. And Jacob Peephall and Dan McBreen have been in their own little battle, and it's cost them. They've lost now about 3 seconds to the back of Quentin Nelson as they battle for 9th and 10th.
This is going to get very interesting. The 77 is the oddball in the mix.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying for the first 18, 19 laps, you're kind of playing rope-a-dope,
Yeah.
and then the last 4, you start swinging.
Yeah, you take what's given you, and you learn, and you move around and see where you are. But now it comes down to the last 5 laps. We've got a 3-car breakaway train, and those guys are going to – it's actually 4. Ooh, everybody got a little sloppy there. And that's what I'm talking about. If the lead car of your pack goes off, more than likely everybody's going to go off a little bit, because you're so up underneath the back of them, you can't see. You can't see through the car.
Kind of a target fixation thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're flying blind if you're in the 2nd, 3rd place car.
Ooh, a little bit of a bobble there by Koff.
Getting sloppy, and everybody in that pack will get sloppy alongside it, because the one mistake's made. Oh, went to the inside. No, didn't do it.
Again, this is just furious racing for 6th.
Absolutely.
There's your lead group. And Reddick.
Yeah, but he's got nothing. He's got to try to do something. Like I say, you just can't sit there forever. Wow, he made that work.
Well, Byron Mead, I think, was trying to hand signal to him and then missed the turn-in.
Yeah, and now what happens is, look at where the lead cars are.
Exactly, that's the break.
They just shook them off.
Yeah.
They might be able to do it. They're tucked up together again. Almost bump drafting.
I mean, Byron Mead is playing the right card there after he got shuffled wide.
Yeah, we got it now. You got to push Reddick up.
Boy, and
there.
it worked, didn't it? I mean, just in that straight alone, they made up a lot of that deficit again. Boy, Miserandino.
First we've seen of the sun today. I just saw it peeking through the fog back there. We got 4 to go.
That's important for you because we're probably in the 60s and you're chilling.
I was worried about that.
Completing 20, 3 to go next time through. Miserandino has 2-3 lengths.
Harper, the unknown.
Yep. Miserandino.
He's been there all day. I mean, that 77 blue car has been in that mix all day. So good tight formation for seconds. You see Miserandino sneaking away a little bit.
Exactly. He is such a savvy racer in these cars. As I said, a 4-time champion, and he strung a lot of them together.
For Harris, he doesn't want Harper working him over right now, because if that starts happening, Miserandino's going to sneak away out of sight. Right now, if I was Harris, I'd be making my move right now, because I don't like.
Well, here he comes.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I wouldn't like the 77 on me. I'm not sure about how that will end up.
And Miserandino
tuck right in behind him, I'm sure.
It's a smart move.
That I like that better.
Yeah.
If I was Harris, I like that arrangement.
Harper right up underneath Miserandino's deck.
For Harper, who's been 3rd the entire race, it's time for him to make a move. I want to see what he's got.
Yep.
I suspect that car's good. I suspect that once he gets in there, he can do some damage. Ooh, as Miserandino drops wheels to the inside. But the 77 has not been aggressive. He hasn't ever once gone for the lead yet. He's been happy to be in 3rd. So that's why I say he's the unknown quantity. I haven't seen
Well, and Harris sure wants the 77 to get
Right
aggressive
there.
on Miserandino.
Harris got a wiggle under braking, and he could have.
Yep.
Harper could have got inside there. I don't know if that's the best place.
Harris made a little bit of a break here. And Reddick cut down
out of
underneath.
nowhere gets by the 77. Now things are getting interesting because Reddick's on the prowl.
Yep, 2 to go.
That was his move. The 77 hasn't made any moves for the lead. He
really hasn't.
He's been content to hang. It's too late to be doing that. We got 2 to go. And now he's in 4th and needs to work hard to get back out of there. Harris sneaking away.
Yep, and you can see Harper. Look at Reddick.
Yep, he's
signaling
come,
to Harper.
Push me.
And
Harris with the hand signals. Come on, let's go. A lot of these guys don't know each other. They don't run against each other all the time.
That's a very good point. I mean, Harper qualified 8th. He's out of Charlotte. And you're up there running with, drivers from Bakersfield, California, and Oregon. And,
right, yeah.
Yeah, you don't see them maybe at the sprints, or the Rose Cup.
But for Matthew Harper, one thing's for certain, he's got to get aggressive now. He's going to have to get himself out of 4th. You're not going to go by all those cars at one fell swoop, so you got to work one at a time. And the one in front of him is a 2-time national champion.
And look at this. We are starting to catch clumps of lap traffic now.
And that could be a spoiler, too.
The decider.
For sure, they're going to be coming up maybe to a white flag.
Well, I believe they are. Nice job again by that lap traffic.
Very nice job.
Easing out of the way. Tom Kirchman doing a superb job.
One more time around.
Let's see. White flag flies. Last lap.
This should be interesting. Miserandino's set in the best position. I'd rather be in 2nd place than be the lead right now. Again, lap traffic getting out of the way.
That's this 2-car clump up at the front. I think that might really affect things down into 4.
This can change the whole thing. This can change their run down to turn 4.
Yep. And just so everybody realizes, this is the time when the corner workers, especially those on the blue flag, are very involved in this race.
Oh, absolutely. They have to let these other drivers know that this is the lead pack coming. It's last lap.
Oh, and this is what I was talking about.
Miserandino got trapped.
And then he tried to draft on the 84 a little bit.
That was his best opportunity right there.
Yep.
There's not much left. Reddick up to 3rd, and he's going to hold off the 77. He's making ground there.
Now, what happens? We've seen moves made down into 9 on occasion. Does Miserandino?
Well, you got 2 cars in front that they're going to catch 2 right there.
Does Mike have something in his pocket? Not close enough. Harris showing good speed on this final lap.
Reddick with a run can do some damage there.
Let's see. Last time, and there is a 2-car lap clump right here.
And it's not going to go away.
Oh, and Harris is catching him at the wrong time. Miserandino running wide, got a great turn of speed. Harris gets parked a little bit, but there's nothing that Miserandino can do. Harris just has to stay with it, onto the throttle and get over. He does it. Has he done it? Harris has finally got himself a gold at the runoffs. What a story for Hot Rod Todd, as everybody likes to call him. And officially, Miserandino getting the 2nd spot. Reddick, his nose was halfway up alongside Miserandino's car at the line.
Well, they got trapped. There was nowhere to go, so they had to tuck in and draft. Look at that. That's what I love to see. Those guys, Mike Miserandino coming up to Harris and saying, "Good job, man. Good job."
Absolutely.
That was the fun thing about this class. It was so much fun. You come out, you might not win every one, but the ones you win, that's good. When you come in 2nd after a hard-fought battle like that, you're still good. It's fun. It's just plain. That was a good day of racing for those guys.
This is one of those classes you can get out of the car having finished 15th in a big field with a huge grin on your face because it's great racing. But for Todd, as I said, he's had a 2nd and a couple of 3rds, so he's got some medals, but never was able quite to get that gold, and that'll be draped around his neck when he makes his appearance in pit lane this time. And for Mike Miserandino, the 4-time champ, he certainly gave it his all and just wasn't enough. And Reddick, that last lap was pretty solid.
Well, Reddick, I'll tell you, he is a champion, and he showed it right there. His car was not on song.
Exactly.
He was definitely not up to the task of running with those guys, but he stayed in the draft all day. At the last of the race with 2 laps to go, he makes the move, takes over the 3rd place slot for the podium, and and sticks it.
And the interesting
And
thing,
he didn't have a third-place car. I think he had a fifth-place car.
I think you're right. And the interesting thing was, you think, because I do, had the 77 of Harper been a little bit more aggressive, he maybe could have played a little bit more of a role in the medals, huh?
Yeah, I think, you know, that's a new driver.
Yep.
You know, he needed to make some aggressive moves earlier and try to move up a position and see what was going to happen. But still a great outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, I'll tell you, just some tremendous racing that we have seen here, certainly. And for Todd Harris, 8th runoff, and he was the Western Conference Majors champion in 2013 and 14 in this category, and divisional champion 2012, 13 and 14 in the Northern Pacific Division. So he certainly got his accolades, and I had mentioned the medals that he's already achieved here, but never that gold, and it finally has come good. Oh, look at that. Both trying to be extra polite. And for Harris, I'm not sure he knew where the 27 finished, and did I need to let him get up there or what? Harper was 4th, Byron Meade in 5th. There's Miserandino coming
up. Mark on
yeah.
Mike's car.
Yep.
And Harris, too.
Yep, absolutely superb racing in this class. And look at that, that's class. Miserandino, he's been racing Todd for a long time, knows how good he is. Miserandino's got 4 golds, and he's happy. His competitor finally has one here.
There's a lot of camaraderie in that class of cars.
There sure is. It's pretty neat stuff.
You don't have to work on them all the time, you know. We take it in and wash it off and put a wax job on it and drink beer.
Yeah. Boy, it's a great class to learn your racecraft without having to commit and multiple hours to it. It's pretty cool, and it can be some awfully good racing. And every once in a while, a great story erupts. And Jeff, it certainly has today.
Well, down here with Todd Harris in your 8th runoff start, right back here at Mid-Ohio, you're able to clinch your win here in Spec Racer Ford.
It's about time. Wow, I'm speechless, which most people who know me know that doesn't happen very often. That was a heck of a race. I just balked the start on a shift. Everybody went by and I had to work my way back through. This has been a long time coming. I just got to thank my family, my wife, Jen, the boys, Calvin and Taylor, my mom, my dad, who are watching, grandmas and grandpas up there, and definitely the Flat Out Racing crew. I mean, these are the guys that work on this race car. My dad's worked on this race car all year. My son drove it all year. We put this car with different bodywork on it in a Pro Drive Racing school earlier this year as a rental. It's in its exact same trim right now. You could have rented this car, anybody out there. So this is exciting.
So what does it mean to you when a guy like Mike Miserandino, 4-time champs, first one to congratulate you?
It's very cool. Mike and I have been racing since he was about 16, and he's definitely one of the absolute best in Spec Racer Ford. That was a heck of a race. I couldn't believe it. And we've raced so many times back and forth, wheel to wheel, that I can trust him and he can trust me. And the other guys were keeping us honest, so we were having to pass and repass each other. So I'm thrilled, and I'm thrilled that Mike came over. I've congratulated him on many. Feels nice this way. I'll buy the drinks for him this time.
Well, that's what you heard right there, Dorsey. You might want to get in on that, too.
Yep, that's the deal. Stick with what you know.
Absolutely. Well, just a neat story, no question about it. A delight to have him finally pull that off. We've announced him for a lot of years, certainly, and to see it all come good for him is pretty special stuff.
Here's an ironic thing for you, too. That's my car number.
Oh, well, there you go. So it was maybe there was a little bit of juju happening here. And for Mike Miserandino, he's a 4-time gold medalist, but he keeps collecting medals, Jeff.
Well, Mike, once again, another podium. You're 6th so far for you, but just didn't quite have it today.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race. My hat's off to Todd. He's a great friend of mine. No one I'd rather race for a national championship than him. I really thought we had it. I kind of set it up the way I wanted to, but he got a good tow from a lap car down the back straightaway, and I just couldn't get the run I needed. But, that's racing. That's the way it goes. And happy with 2nd. We worked hard all year. This was kind of a last-minute deal to run Gen 2. And thank you to all my crew at MBI Racing, my family, my awesome wife, my kids are all here. I wish I could have got a win for them. We got another chance tomorrow. But thank you to Nick, and Dan, and Robert, Mark Ballingy, everyone that supports MBI Racing. Almost got him a checker flag today, but we're happy with 2nd. We'll take it.
Well, second place today, like you said, he's got another chance tomorrow to try to get that gold in Spec Racer Ford 3rd Gen.
Well, that now explains why he's got that different car color. It was a last-minute deal to put it together, but boy, did he give it a ride. And speaking of a ride, Todd Harris enjoying this very special, the most special of victory laps in club racing for the Sports Car Club of America, the National Championship Lap of Honor. Let's get back down to Jeff with our bronze medalist.
Well, Scott Reddick, you almost got second just by that much. Did you know where you finished?
Yeah, I knew I finished third. It was going to be close there at the end. I struggled with the car a lot getting out of the keyhole, but I was able to run everyone down everywhere else. So, I tried my best. I tried to make passes in other places. And with lap traffic, it got very interesting at the end. I thought I still maybe had an outside chance, but, getting out of the last corner, I had a big run and almost got second.
The car seemed just a little bit off. Was there different settings you did because of the weather today?
Yeah, I mean, we gambled on the setup a little bit. We were really fast everywhere, but we just couldn't quite get out of the keyhole. And obviously that's the most important corner for lap time and for passing. So I just had to do my best everywhere else.
Well, all is not lost here for Scott Reddick. A podium today, gold medal yesterday.
Yeah, he got another win in Formula Enterprises off of that record-setting 8th consecutive pole. And here's a look at the provisional results. And Matt Harper, a great drive for the 24-year-old into the 4th spot. He's got a future.
Absolutely great drive for him. And learned a lot today, I guarantee you that. He was in with the best there is and did a really good job holding his own.
Yeah, it tells you how competitive this class is when Cliff White's in 7th. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And
like Reddick just told you,
Yep.
I was off a little bit. I couldn't get through the keyhole, and we could see it. He was not the winning car. He was not going to get there. He did the best he could to get to 3rd. I mean, it's amazing.
Yep, he fought it hard and did what he could, certainly. So that wraps up our coverage of the chase for the gold in Spec Racer Ford here at the Runoffs, the SCCA Runoffs presented by Garmin Verb. Next up on the race order is going to be Formula Mazda. Rick Benjamin and Randy Popes will be joining Jeff for the call of Formula Mazda coming up next here on day 2 as we see little breaks of sun starting to appear here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. For Dorsey and Jeff, I'm Greg Kramer. Thanks so much. We'll see you for the next time out.